Okay, blue-green climb. So this is a kind of devotion style shell, but now really like cards that say devotion in it. So we've got a bunch of mana dorks here, and we've got Leyline to make them pump out extra mana. And Leyline with these 1 mana dorks can actually play things like Questing Beast and Vivien Arkbow very, very quickly, as early as turn 2. We also have 3 copies of Hadana's Climb here. That's where the climb comes from in the deck name. So at the beginning of combat, you get to put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. Then if it has 3 or more counters, you transform Climb into the Winged Temple. And the Winged Temple gives something flying and doubles its power. So good way to punch through, kind of Ember Cleave before we had Ember Cleave, if you would. We've got Voracious Hydra as well as Leyline as payoffs for having lots of mana. Should there be an Ulamog in our 75? Vivien technically fetches things from the sideboard. Should I play a cheeky Ulamog in the sideboard? What are the odds we actually find Ulamog useful? Like, I don't want to, like, be all in on Ulamog main deck, but having a cheeky Ulamog in the board's probably not terrible. Alright, let's do that. Let's play some games. Yeah, see how it goes. It's all about the climb, chat. All about the climb. Possible that some Hydroid Krasis could be a good fit for this shell, since we're on the blue splash anyways for climb. Hey, Tater MTG. YouTube regular, clocking in with the Twitch sub. Hope things are going smoothly for the new Hoagland in the coming weeks. We are all set up. I've got a car seat installed. I've got a crib built. We've got clothes together. We are ready for Haley to get here when she gets here. Whenever that is. Remember, chat, for this goose, peace was never an option. It's like some Naya Winota here. Dream title, thank you. I like had a week like half off of work and I keep forgetting to do the little things like that. Well, thanks for hooking it up now, Lil. I appreciate that. Wouldn't be here without folks like you sending the Prime support my way. A little over half my subs in any given month are Prime subs. Looks like you are currently subbed. I just respawned. Thank you for that. We're in danger. We are in danger. If they have Land Winota, we are dead. If they don't have Land Winota, we get to kill them next turn, though. So, like, you know. Your move, Yugi boy. They don't kill me on their 4, I kill them on my 5. Would we prefer to kill War Boss here? No. I'd rather put them to dead on board. Because even if I kill the War Boss, Winota is still probably lethal. Alright, so if we had killed the War Boss, they would have gotten what? Marauders. Yep. So even if we leave, even if we kill the War Boss, we die there. I think it's correct to put them on a 2-turn clock. The Flips, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate the continued support. Welcome back. Cages and Aether Gust come in here. We'll trim some Incubation Druids. Quite charming. Around the edges. This doesn't look like an easy matchup. So do we want to predict Vivien? Why? I agree that this matchup is probably bad for our deck. And it's bad for our deck because our deck's not capable of being interactive, and our linear game plan is almost assuredly worse than their linear game plan. Of course, Respawn. Aim to please here. What's Gemrazer's job in the sideboard? Well, the card that destroys artifact and enchantments is in the sideboard for destroying artifacts and enchantments. This may come as a surprise to you. Lay down the knowledge. To make the geese honkier. I mean, it comes in against mono blue. Reach is definitely good there. Run! He's Godzilla! Need to make Godzilla references with my lands. It's just good, clean value, chat. That's my goose, chat. How's my goose sound? Do we like it? Is it on point?
Close your eyes and listen to the sounds of the wild.
Listen to the sounds of the wild. It's an Llanowar game. Maybe? I have 7 mana. My fiance just looked over my computer wondering what that sound was. It's not my fault your fiance can't appreciate art, Dr. Mr. Pony.
I'd get out of the way if I were you. Oh, I am gonna love tearing this place to the ground.
I think I'm just doing this. I like smacking for 8. Then I have like lethal through a Winota next turn. Yeah, they're dead, right? The geese hit for 8. They block 1.
This place is like a zoo.
Hey, JRC, thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Shazper, thank you for the 6 months. Welcome back. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Do 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 do. For those geese, chat, peace was never an option. As a punishment for speaking out against her, my fiance has told me to shut up. We can make sure that Dr. Mister is shut up.
Hydra. Nature is beautiful. My, how you've grown.
Post-banning and combination change is noted the clear-cut best deck in Historic. Yeah, I think it was the clear-cut best deck before the banning, too. Still pretty far off of...
This'll be fun to watch.
Still pretty far off of, Ulamog mana, so I think we just plus and try and beat them down with these again. Oh, no! Oh, no!
Time to disappear into the brush.
So, talking about metagames and how they work and things that matter and things to think about, I actually think Agent of Treachery and Fires being banned in Historic is a negative for Naya Winota. I actually think Naya Winota is worse post-bannings than it was before them. And the reason for that is the types of decks that really tend to have good matchups against the Winota deck struggled against the Agent of Treachery and Fires decks in my experience. The types of decks that play efficient removal and disruption in their main deck that also have some number of creatures tended to get devoured by the Agent of Treachery decks taking their efficient good threats. Most of the decks I've played where I go, okay, this deck's pretty good against Winota, they struggled against decks that were flooping Agent of Treachery out. Azuki, thank you for the 4 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Well, Winota is value. You have a weird definition of value. I guess if you kill your opponent while they have 6 cards in their hand, it's kind of like getting value. Probably see the Scorpion come back up here. You get +1 card for every human attacking, so if they don't die on the spot, it could be some... That's fair. It's fair. Now the question is, can we kill them from 20 before Cats and Priests kill us? And the answer is probably not. Like, they've got a Serrated Scorpion here, and the cat jumps in and out, getting them a bunch of life. And, like, I can't just Vivien kill the Priest because Lurish just brings it right back. This blue-green deck might be a quick one, chat. I think there's a strong possibility this deck's not very good. Bring in Cage. Bring in some armored killers. Has Trample and gets to kill ovens. We've not really used Climb yet, no. Yeah, Thalia plus Rune Blaster is a rude combination for sure. For sure. Bonk the Goose. I think I'm just Hydraing and killing the priest here. I really hope the mutate mechanic ends up being like Explore, and that it like finally sees play in its competitive once we have rotation happens. Because people that remember that set, Explore wasn't really a playable mechanic, and then it was a powerhouse after rotation happened. Black Lives Matter indeed, Rexbox. Thanks for the 16 months. I appreciate the prime. Welcome back. The new Dog Lord is one of the most powerful 2-mana lords I've seen, but there are only 8 total dogs and only 2 are close to playable. Rough. Speaking of rough. Speaking of rough.
With the wild. I'd get out of the way if I were you.
Yeah, I think I'm saving the land to cycle at this point. I don't think I really need another land. Oh, should have cycled first, huh? That was a punt. Could have put counters on here and gotten a friend. Growth Chamber. Remember when this was a playable card? Do y'all remember a simpler time The last time, or as I like to refer to it as, the last time Standard wasn't a smoldering dumpster fire while solved. Actually, I probably should have not farted this manually.
My, how you've grown.
It's like super dead to another act of treason. Hopefully they just like pay 3 and put their lures in their hand. Sick. Get to game 3. Gonna stack him up to 8 and smack with trample.
We're fit enough to survive.
We don't have a life drain creature in the board to find. You can always see the current deck we're playing by typing !deck in chat. If you're on mobile or on PC, the extension's also available. This is probably too slow, right? Your way to view decks earlier played today. Yeah, type !decks in chat. You can also find them in the deck queue on my website. I don't remove them from the deck queue until I posted them up on YouTube. Yeah, we have a real curve here. We'll get to loop their familiar once in response, but then that's it. Was Luris Dredge okay with the rule change? Yes. Most Luris and Yorion decks are still good. Still fine. Still want to play those companions. Man, we're like actually ahead here, huh? What is your quest? I seek the face. Arrgh. Get him. Scryfall is great. If you advance search for dog, they've already changed it to show you all the hounds that were now changed in Core Set 2021. Meanwhile, Historic still isn't a format that you can search on the Gatherer. Is that true? I feel like that deserves a tweet if that's still true. Moment. Alright, sorry. Shade finished being thrown. This gives trample too, right? For people that would like to participate in shade throwing, likes and retweets or heroes, you know the drill. You know the drill, chat. Even got a tasty gift to post down there with it. You love to see it. They're adding remote invite for raid friends in Pokemon Go. Oh, that's sweet. Grafdigger's Cage doing the Lord's work here this game. Do we have any jumpstart spoilers? I don't believe so. That'll be nice, because Christy and I can only do up to 3-star raids on our own and with the kids. And, like, we need to do 15 raids for the research that popped up. Alright, I think... Is it crazy to cut Leyline from this deck? I feel like Leyline is just too much mana, and I want more actual action in the deck. I feel like I want to just, like, cut Leyline, try Hydroid Krasis here. Yeah, I kind of like this. And I like going up Incubation Druid here, because especially with Vivien and the ramping extra on here makes a big Hydroid Krasis good. Let's try this. Green Henge. I think Green Henge is much worse than Hydroid Krasis. Hydroid Krasis is a threat on its own, whereas Green Henge is hard to cast, so we don't have that many individually large creatures. And it needs something else with it to actually generate card advantage. Do you not want Ulamog now? I think Ulamog's probably fine. We'll see. It's too bad that you're forced to play. Why is it too bad? Questing Beast is great. Why you gotta be mean to Questerson? Questerson is lovely. He and I go way back. It's my favorite historic deck, Yarok Field. For this goose, peace was never an option, chat. Is there a list for your Arkfield on your website? Yep. Is there a list for your Arkfield on my website? Of course there is. Come on now.
Close your eyes, breathe, and listen to the sound. We're fit enough to
Mertz Hassan, thanks for the 27 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, do you have a Doomblade or a Teferi? If they don't kill Incubation Druid, we get to vomit our hand onto the board next turn, and that would be nice.
Right on schedule. I've got time.
I'd get out of the way if I were you.
Why did you escape the Banhammer, Teferi? Why? Why?
Let's try this.
Why? Why? Why are you allowed to go free? It's Kenny.
This'll be fun to watch.
Deal. Haumph. Haumph. Chomp chomp. Stomping time. Your man Teferi escaped the banner by going back in time and saving himself. Something like that. Okay. Man, can we pour one out for these geese, by the way? These geese have been great so far today, chat. The geese have killed a lot of people. They've been very angry alongside Vivien. Do you want to haste and attack my Vivien? Yes or no? If they attack with everything, they're dead, right? So if I put this here, and then I put this here, Vivien goes to 1. And then I'm attacking for 10 once I plus her. So that's not enough. Yeah, I'm aware they have trample. That's why I said Vivien goes to 1 and not Vivien goes to 2. 7 minus 6 is 1. I could also just keep the elf and trade questing beasts here, which is probably right since I'm not killing their thing anyways. Vivien goes to 2 this way.
I've endured worse.
I can't kill them this turn anyways. So I think I'm supposed to spread these out a little bit. We'll hit them for 9 down to 3. Questing Beast really flexing, showing what a good tool it is against these Field of the Dead decks here. Back up to 9. That won't save you from the justice this goose brings from on high, opponent. This goose has your number. Well, the questing beast has a little bit of your number too, but we're going to mostly credit the goose.
Stomping time.
Da-da-da-da. The old 20 ball you. The old 20 ball you. Am I just clicking submit? I guess actually is Ceratops is probably better than Voracious Hydra, right? Okay. Yeah, this was a bad keep. Yeah, probably should have mulliganed this. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Shatter in the sky. Thank you for the 2/3 of a year, Raw Milk Willie. Welcome back. Well, you know. Worth noting here, this does not make mana of any color, or this does not make mana of any color, only what lands we control can produce, so we can't actually climb with our current mana base here, which is unfortunate. Hand's still very good, though, hoping to draw a blue source. I even added a land to the deck before we started this one. Just gonna go ahead and fart this here. There's a chance we get swept next turn. If they shatter us, we get to draw a card at the Growth Chamber Guardian's bigger. The good news is if we hit a blue source, we would get to immediately have another one with Hadana's Climb. Hopefully, after they shatter us, we draw a land, and we get to go like Incubation Druid into Llanowar Elf. That's actually pretty good. Let's do this into this now. I think we're just questing beasting here. We'll see if we'll be able to recover here despite our stumble. Westerson doing what it does best and seeking the face here. But it still needs a black source to activate Golos, so that's nice. Vivien's down tick here can let Questing Beast kill Golos. Although with that, we probably need to kill Kenrith more than anything.
Nature is beautiful.
Nature is beautiful. I try hogging.
We're gonna tear you apart.
Okay, so that block there could mean they just have another Golos, but it could also mean that they plan to sweep next turn, so I'm not going to play the Incubation Druid out. Is a good pickup. Solid pickup. What is your quest? And I'm actually only going to put one counter on Questerson here, because I would like 2 blockers to try and keep my Vivien alive. Vivien plus Climb here, both doing a good job of They both apply pressure nicely, which is great. If opponent has just bricks here again, Climb's actually lethal next turn with the Questing Beast. If this is a brick, they're dead.
This'll be fun to watch.
Are you dead yet? You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Quickly to the sky. Thanks, Sid. I'm planning to stream for at least a little bit every day until baby girl gets here. Who knows when that will be? It's next week baby week. Today could be baby day. Tomorrow. Hopefully for the sake of my wife sometime soon. That is an excellent draw here. Now, mono red here is definitely a matchup where Gemrazer is much worse than Thrashing Brontodon. This 7 mana spell is essentially a 2-drop. Full stop, get some help. That's not how that works in the slightest. Chromatic Orrery is a 7-drop. It's very expensive. If they attack with Steamkin, I think I'm going to trade here. If they attack with everything, I'm going to eat Rick's Matty. It's a 2-drop in the same way that Teferi, 5-mana Teferi is a 3-drop. Kinda. Like, one of the things you need to remember is that every extra mana you add to the cost of something makes it increasingly harder to cast in Magic. None of these Triomes are better off as just islands. They've been super awkward every time as tapped lands. Like, if this was an untapped land here, I'd get to go, like, Guardian into Hadana's Climb. And the fact that I added Hydroid Krasis to this deck actually makes the Triome worse. And the reason for that is Hydroid Krasis means I basically want to play out every land I draw in case I draw a Giant X spell. Yeah, I think I've talked myself into making these islands after this set.
And I'm coming for you next.
I'm gonna go ahead and kill this Rick's Matty Reveler. I know that, like, this means they can Firebrand to kill my Vivien, but I think it's important to just keep their board as small as possible. Like, the cards in my hand are good, and I just want to live to cast them, so if we trade 2 for 1 for this Vivien, I think that's fine.
I will not be extinct.
Hey, we'll move it. Thanks for extending your sub. I appreciate the support. Are arena deck submissions still $25? They are. I am not planning to reduce the price of deck submissions moving forward. So as a heads up, I'm planning to, the increased cost will mean that I will take in slightly fewer deck submissions, and that's the goal of it. I want to try and make a point to be able to consistently play the decks that are on my website. So that way, there's almost always a recent video of them up there. Yeah, Call the Death Dweller, real good there. Worth noting, this has Menace from when it came back here. So cannot block that currently. Yeah, I think I'm just flipping the Hadana's Climb this turn. So we'll go grab GCG, target this, flip it over. And then if they don't kill me or this 5/5 here, they die next turn to the Wing Temple. It'll make this a 10/10 with flying. If they kill me or kill the 5/5. So I know that climb was okay there just now, but I feel like I probably don't want a ton of them here. I probably want to trim some of my top end. No, I don't want to trim the triomes because they're still better than missing on lands. I don't think going down to 22 lands would be a big mistake. Again, wish this was an island, but the hand's keepable, I think. Gale 1 to dead. Where's this goose at? It's alive! Nice. I'm actually gonna go ahead and do this. Because it basically it takes one of those off the table and it stops the other from attacking this turn. And then next turn I can go climb, start putting counters on Hydra. I'm kind of expecting a Goblin Chain Whirler here, but I also think that's okay. I think I'm fine just trading the Hydra for the 2. What kind of webcam do I use? I use a Logitech C920. They have a second Chain Whirler. I don't think we can beat that, so I'm just going to block and pretend like they don't have it. Yeah. Really? Did they just skip killing? Yeah, deal. Okay. So what if I do this and double the counters on it? And then climb a counter onto it? Yeah, it could have cleave. That's a thought. Yeah, must have cleave, right? Thanks, man. Of any color, right? Yeah.
Oh, I am gonna love tearing this place to the ground. Stopping time.
So they're dead? We give 2 counters here. We double it to 14. We hit them for 15 in the air. Ah, sweet. I dig it. I think I want 2 more untapped lands there. Probably need an island, though. This is 20 green. That's probably fine. How do I feel about Gemrazer versus Thrashing? They're slightly better in different situations. Ulamog's probably not necessary. If I split the difference, is a coward split here embarrassing? They're like slightly different situations, right? I think I like that. I think that's probably fine. Huge advocacy. We're definitely not about to block warriors with this deck. Hello, lovely wife. Am I done yet? I'm getting beat up. I'm not brave enough to promote coward splits. How are the monsters behaving? Alright, are we supposed to play Adapt Chicken with this here? I feel like the answer is yes. I could also just, like, jam Questerson down their throat. Jamming Questerson is bad if we get Storm's Wrath next turn, though. I think I'm gonna attack for 3. And then Gilded Goose. And just hold up the adapt here. I don't want to adapt because if I adapt and they kill or bounce it in response, I just like have spent all my mana. And this way, if they have like a shock or something, or like now in response to this, I'll adapt it. So I missed some points of damage here potentially by trying to play around a removal spell, but I think that's correct. Hoping to fade Storm's Wrath next turn. It's on a second red at least. Probably some kind of Historic Port of Temur Reclamation if I had to guess. No 5th land is sweet. Ooh, speaking of sweet. That gets us out of Storm's Wrath range. You want to play a second Growth Chamber Guardian post-combat here? Do you think they're playing Fog? Do we questing Beast next turn probably? Play around Fog? Have we died a lot to Winota today, or was it okay? I think we played against Winota 3 times today, maybe 4? We definitely beat it at least twice. The what's it called deck that we played today was undefeated against it. The Grixis deck was undefeated against it. Alright, they only have 4 cards in their bin, so even if they have another Nexus here, they're like not close to fully comboing. We'll see if they have an Expansion Explosion here. They could maybe be okay. I mean, if this is Expansion Explosion, they're literally done on board, right? Not quite. If they kill the 5 power Growth Chamber Guardian, I'm 1 point short. Need to draw land. If they spend all of this drawing a bunch of cards here, they can draw up to 7. Okay, yeah, so if we draw an untapped land here, which all of our lands are untapped, I believe we kill them. Because we can fart this, make it an 8, and then attack with, Is that lethal? Let's find out. So if I do this... This is 8. Yeah, okay, so they're dead. Yeah, exactly lethal with the land. Okay, so... Hydroid Krasis, probably not the axis we want to fight on here. I think we want the Aether Gust and the enchantment removal. Probably okay trimming... Probably okay trimming Voracious Hydra here. I guess this is only okay too. This can get our things outside of the range of red removal though. Which is kind of nice. Let's try this. QB plus pumped. Wing double, sure. Couple, all the lines needed the land though, right? We did not have lethal without a land, no matter how you cut it. It's real good. So Incubation Druid explicitly does not care how it gets a counter, it just cares if it has a counter in order to make lots of mana. So next turn we'll be able to Hadana's Climb, put a counter on here, and then also mutate this out if they play like a Wilderness Reclamation. I'm glad this deck's felt okay since we changed a couple of the details. I like this archetype was what I really loved when it was standard legal. It's fun. It's fun to play again. Just like these cards are a good time. If you mutate a creature, a Growth Chamber Guardian, and then you put a counter on it to search your library for a creature. Yeah. When you mutate, the creature has all of the card text of the entirety of all of the different creatures. I've not played any Fiona yet, Beansy. Played against them a couple of times, though. So I got to dig a little deep there with Athas's intervention. See what they come up with. You search your library for a card named Growth Chamber Guardian. So this is only 8, so using Wing Temple doesn't kill them, so I don't think we're going to. That's bait. Maybe this is wrong, so we're just gonna like Nexus Evade here. It's not great for auto pass value because I still have a goose and a food. You search for Growth Chamber Guardian. It says find a card search your library for a card named Growth Chamber Guardian. Like, I'm kind of confused why this is confusing. If you don't find Growth Chamber Guardian, the rules of Magic make no sense and the English language is incredibly stupid. But, like, it point blank says a card named Growth Chamber Guardian. Good on you, Mask. Wow, the Pioneer PTQ apparently didn't even fire on Moto today. In the entirety of the world, they couldn't find 129 people who wanted to play a Pioneer tournament together. Okay, hopefully they don't have Fog, and they just have a bounce spell here, and then Armored Killer's gonna be lethal. With the land, we get to Wing Temple and Armored Killer here. So if they don't have Root Snare here, they should be dead. Man, can you imagine playing mother flipping Root Snare against all of these Questing Beast decks? Who plays Root Snare? Man, where's Questerson when you need to punish someone, chat? There's stomps in this format too. Golly. Maybe I should have played Llanowar Elf there so I could cast Questing Beast and activate Wing Temple next turn. They get to pick Root Snare back up, vomit.
Let us see if your talents are worth cataloging.
Alright, if we draw Questing Beast, they die. If we draw Questing Beast, they die.
I follow the track.
They block 1, they take 11. They didn't grab Root Snare. That means they have another one. They have a Brazen Borrower or something. Huh. Feels magic, man. Alright. Well, maybe we'll get another turn. Block so we don't die to a expansion explosion. I'm gonna concede if they take a turn because the game's over. Hopefully we can find a Questing Beast in the top 16 cards of our deck next game.
To the library.
There's the Storm's Wrath. We did not show them Questing Beast game 1. I think the Storm's Wrath actually means I want an extra Vivien in my deck because Vivien makes things get bigger than Storm's Wrath, which is nice. So, had a couple of live draws there, missed. You mean interact with other people in their Twitch chat, Telsa? Alright, let's do it. Double climb's a little awkward, but the rest of the hand's fine. This was a 6 without the second climb. We'd like snap it off. Always been impressed that you can respond to our stupid comments while you play Magic. So it's definitely a skill. What is your quest? I seek the face. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Yeah, and it's bigger than Storm's Wrath here. Bigger than a bread box. think I'm just supposed to pass here. I think I want to hold the goose for... I think I want to hold the goose to, like, go goose into Armored Killer to kill an enchantment if they deal with my board somehow. Please concede. Please concede. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd like to think they just died with 2 fogs in their hand. You at home can believe whatever you would like to believe, but I would like to believe in my heart of hearts that they died holding Root Snare. Because that's sweet, sweet justice after what else happened. So, like, we didn't actually get a chance to Hydroid Krasis. We didn't actually get a chance to Hydroid Krasis, everyone, after we add it, but just, like, the Climb did a good job of this deck of kind of being Vivien 5 through 8 in a way. Like, both of these together let us consistently turn our piles of dorks into something useful that could beat people down in a really, really sweet way. I like that both of these cards are cards that are fine to play on like 4, 5, 6 mana that also scale in case we flood out in the mid to late game. I had pretty low expectations going into this deck, and honestly, what we ended up at here felt somewhat reasonable. I think if you're someone that's followed my content for a while, or you just really love this card, I think if you want to kick it around, this could be more than fine. Yeah. It was fun to play Growth Chamber Guardian again. Honestly, I really like this card. Did we ever get a Climb graphics for the website in past seasons? Yeah, there's definitely different Climb decks up there at different points. Yep. All right. I think I'm actually going to be done for the day. I've been live for almost 7 hours, and Christy's having a rough day. Most of the days are going to be rough until the baby finally decides to get here, so I'm going to, rather than push on to 8+ hours live, I'm going to go ahead and end it and go take care of the fam. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Assuming we don't have a tiny child, I'm going to be popping on for at least short streams every single day. So we don't know exactly when things are going to happen because we're just kind of a waiting game, but I plan to pop on for at least 2 to 3 decks a day between now and when the baby gets here, and then when she does get here, I'm going to take at least a week off. So thanks everybody for watching. Stay safe out there wherever you're at in this crazy world, and possibly see you tomorrow. Make sure you're following on Twitch, Twitter, or have notifications enabled on Discord. If you're in the subs Discord and you want notifications when I go live, there's different roles, so you can tag yourself so you get notifications when I go live with Arena, Moto, Runeterra, etc. So whatever content you care about, you can tag yourself accordingly in there. Peace, folks.